Welcome to First Friday's Night Market, North Beach. Next year, in a month, will be the 20th anniversary of First Friday's North Beach. And it is the oldest First Fridays anywhere. Forget Reno, Oakland, Las Vegas, Seattle. It started here 20 years ago. And there's a whole story connected to that that I'll tell at next year at one of the events, how it started. But you should just know that this is the 20th anniversary. I'm Dan Macchiarini, Macchiarini Creative Design, and I am a board member and past president of the North Beach Business Association, which brings you First Fridays. And we are struggling at this time, like a lot of organizations, for funding for this event. So we would ask you to donate to the tip drawer to the performers here and celebrate culture in North Beach. And with that, I will introduce Jessica Loos, who is our amazing coordinator, who has been a coordinator for years now. And we're going to do the last First Fridays of 2025. And the idea of 2026 is hope. We're coming out of the darkness. After the sun sets, the sun will rise. The Chinese saying that hope cannot be said that hope exists or it doesn't exist. But when many people go one way, a road is made. De salute.
Good evening, everyone. Here we are once again, North Beach First Fridays, and also the holiday night market. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Here we are at Macchiarini Creative Design, the oldest metalworks jewelry shop in the country. Also, so many other amazing things on this block. North Beach is an amazing neighborhood. And here we are with some amazing poets once again. I'm gonna start out the evening with my friend who is also a wonderful poet. She has a new book out called The Holy Eel, published by Lithic Press, and she's also been a homeless advocate and activist for years. Please welcome Sarah Menefee.
Hi, oh wow. Thank you all for coming out in the cold. Very proud to be reading here, very happy. Thank you, Jessica, Dan, everyone. So, when I start going on too long, get the hook. Yeah, okay, I know you. Okay. These are some poems from November and December. Out of my body, I make my shell, my oyster shell, my mother of pearl. This is a love poem to espresso, which I have in the afternoon. Sometimes I'm still drinking it when the sun goes down these days. The dark umber dream that took my tongue. Thank you for the shot of spiritus. The earth is deep and dark as the evening shades drop down. One more today before I run away, well, not far away, before the close of day. What does Sunday, run day, grub day, mug day, done day mean to the great sidereal of come what may? These are untitled. Too late, I fucked it up, but good. Too late for me, but not for you, sweetheart. Welcome to cold dystopia. It's a big help, it says under his folded head. I like messy paintings and sentimental rhymes and paintings of clowns. As I walked out, I saw a small, dark, handsome man drop a shiny dime and kneel to pick it up the way I would have done. And our dark eyes met for a split second, mine and that handsome man's. One thin dime, eyes like dark stars in the human sky. Sometimes I see phantom mice running across the corners of my eyes. And sometimes it's a real mouse running across. Thank you. The portly cafe worker who looks like a butcher yells, get out, to a twig of a crazy girl. Life bleeds away, says an old cliche. Sitting outside the algorithms, waiting for dead Godot, a bag of nothing at my toe. Who holds the pen that draws the fine line between love and obsession? Here in the age of scraping bottom, born under the sign of cardboard, for he so loved the world. What is the word attar in regards to life and death, I idly wondered. In an old email, he mentioned the red sulfur, and I want to know about that as about little else do I get. I like this downtown corner where the human traffic flows like a gentle rapids in the mild afternoon of a ceaseless turning. This is December. December, I have my shoes on. Left outside in the cold night of calculation, choked on an iron chain. The cold said, here's your red clown nose. A perfectly ripe golden pear brought home under the ripening cold moon. Hasn't it been amazing? What a strange place we found looking down into the valley where you lived, searching for a cafe to sit with a cup and talk in the zillionth dream I've had of you all these longing years. A boy came in and put his towhead in my lap. I put my arms around him then. We were no more. Oh, this is for Jack. It would be his, I think, 92nd birthday on December 13th, so it's kind of lame, but it's, anyway. Will you be older now or agelessly new as you always seemed? When I see you in the streets with all the gentle comrades where you've always been, for all the gentle comrades as you used to dedicate your books of deathless poems down on Eternity Street. Yeah, presente. Who sees the twilight's cold lavender as they sing over their loud machines for coins? Who falls and who still trembling clings? Thank you.
Once again, Sarah Menefee. The next poet that I am introducing is actually an old friend of mine from New York City who is here visiting. He is here receiving an Oakland Pen Award. He, among other things, he for years he ran a reading series on the Lower East Side in Manhattan at Paradise Lounge that I read in many times. And in 2001, he did a Big Sur marathon reading where in all the places where Jack Kerouac lived, he organized an event where the whole book was read. And he did one in Tompkins Square Park here in North Beach, once again in 2021. I actually was fortunate enough to read chapter 17. But anyhow, it is with great pleasure that I introduce George Wallace.
Yeah, 2001, that was a lot of fun. Over in the Washington Square Park, Michael McClure wrapped up 32 after. Yeah, right. Picked up a lantern. His wife held a lantern up for him to read the poem at the end, so that was a beautiful experience. My experience of San Francisco goes back to the SLA, the 1970s. I was here during the SLA giveaway. And I've been back a couple of times, lived here a few times, but it holds a special place in my heart. I think San Francisco and New York City have a polarity which defines the soul of this nation in many ways. So I'm pleased to be here with you today. In every city we see, in every city, a city we just don't see. In every city is another city that we just do not see. A city of ghosts, saints, broken angels, news agents, sausage stuffers, invisible hipsters, wise to the news ways, kind of city of blind rage and broke ambition, drunks, more drunks and dreamers, steamrollers, teetotalers, Hart Cranes, Jack Londons, Blaze Sendrars, Juna Barnes, Jack Foleys, the city we just don't see, Undercurrent gangs of men looking for work, shift changers, pocket pickers, loners, losers, and luckless damn fools. Luckless damn fools, children of children of children, mothers with parasols and prams, brain surgeons with sterilized hands, patriots, pioneers, hookers with their eyes on the prize. The muse strikes back. Out through the front door, in through the back, tough gents, plutocrats, churchmen tip their hats to each other, mobsters and secret politicians with trigger fingers. Another city we just do not see. Deferential men, defeated men, immigrants, fat cigar smokers, plutocrats, rich and full of pride, mulish, passionate and cruel, nervous as a junkie, soul-saving investor, iconoclasts, flowing merchants, flower merchants, tuba players, old women teetering on their blue vein legs, shy boys red-faced in the snow, women with jewels, fast-moving machines, invisible smokestacks. Money, dump trucks burning in the soot black night. Another city we just do not see. Suits, smiles, menthol cigarettes, high heels, flirts, tongues like typewriters, deadbeats, highliners, bottom feeders, top dogs, rap musicians, paddy wagons, seamstresses, strike busters, union goons, city within a city we just don't see. We just pass through it. With our impossible wandering eyes, wreathed in oblivious mist. Hip, lost singers and secret angels of the city within the city. The city we just do not see. Thank you. I count 7 minutes, so I've got 4 poems for you. For all we know, this is paradise. What if apples were still apples, snakes still snakes, and we're all living in paradise now? What if Eve is in the summer of her years, running with the antelope, thighs supple and alert, her face tan? What if nobody has had to crawl on their belly on account of some fairy tale crime? Adam lies blameless in a grove of ripe pears, admiring Eve's gate, admiring how evening light arrives in Eden on hushed wings to remind him of love's caresses. No temptation, no shame, Just a curious bird singing in sweet ellipses, singing with the trees, a song with no words about God and summer and sunlight and waterfalls, a simple song about how perfectly a pear fits in Adam's hand, equally perfect in Eve's hand too, and how generously its juices spill onto their chests, onto their chins, onto their hands, almost as if by design, singing how we are all of us two halves of a single fruit, hanging from a paradise tree. Thank you. Thanks. I got time for one more, yeah. One more. Emmett Goldman said, "If I can't dance, it's not my revolution." Dance like the whole world's watching. Suffer in the wind, cry in the shade, shudder with the lonesome, howl defiant as wolves. Dance like the whole world's watching, though the fascist tanks are rolling, though the breath of the wounded is at your neck, though the government of the meek is crumbling, and the merchants of fear hold sway. And the marksman blinks. Dance in your shoes, dance in your cars, dance at your spinning wheels. If we can't dance, it's not our revolution. If we can't sing our barbaric yawp, there is no song. Dance like horseshoe crabs in old Walt Whitman's beard. Dance like William Blake, angel-headed at the baptismal font. Dance like a bluesman holding court in the unyielding cotton fields. Dance like the children of a failed God, for the postman, for the barber, for the thief. Dance for orphans scraping at our doors, and tin pan gods and false leaders who deceive us. Dance for naked prophets raked in by the millions from the mouths of the poor. Dance for the beggar at the corner. Dance for the free man held captive at the illegal border. And the clowns and idiots and the pretty men and the pretty women in their empty-hearted limousines and proud boys firing off rounds in the adolescent playground. Dance for the revolutionary subdued by tyrants. Dance for the rich man in his chain of ambition. Dance until the music disappears for the heartbroken, for the medicated, for the put upon, for the fooled, for the self-doubters, the straight-laced, the street vendor, the town crier, and the boy who cried wolf. For the anonymous helmsman whose hand is timid at the till, and the secret wanderer asleep in his crowd of discontent. Dance, poets, dance, poets. For the underestimated, the overwhelmed, the uneducated, the surrounders, and the weavers of impossible dreams, there are hearts yet to be kindled in a cold, dark night that surrounds us. There are souls of 10,000 nations yet to be liberated from their nests of shame. Dance. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, tambourine once again, that was George Wallace here visiting from New York City. And I think that New York City and San Francisco are very much, kind of twin poetry cities in very, very many ways. So it's quite cool to have him here. Next, there is another very wonderful poet who, she might end up mentioning it in her poetry herself, but she is a goat herder. And her name is Mukethe Kawinzi. Please welcome her.
Great. So yes, I've been herding goats around the country for about 6 years now. And right now we are headed into breeding season. And if you want to breed goats, what you do is you get one buck and you throw them in with like 50 or 60 female goats, does. You cross your fingers, you hope for the best. Hopefully in 5 months you have goat babies. But if that doesn't work, you pull in what's called a cleanup buck. You go to another rancher and you say, do you have someone who's proven, he's strong, he's got good stuff, you borrow that buck, you give it back, and I had to do this last year. I had to pull in a cleanup buck, so I found myself thinking about how one of these traveling goats, one of these traveling breeders might feel at the end of his life, having gone farm to farm and goat to goat, and leaving his unknown progeny across the country. So this is entitled The Cleanup Buck Blues. The cleanup buck was close to death and prone to holding court. He liked giving rambling advice in the alluvial meadow on the east side, unsheltered from spring storms, sinking slowly as his koans and his teeth fell out of his lipless mouth. He'd fucked through uncountable goats in his time, and he liked to tell the tale of the one who got away. To hear the cleanup buck tell it, she was a goat in a million, with a name as luscious as she looked. Peaches, full Nubian, mole dark and salted with dime-sized ivory spots neck. After Nefertiti nose never not turned up regal, and two long flowing ears falling back like wide perfect plaits. The cleanup buck tongued the air in loving memory. The storm hardened, and the soil gave, and the ground anointed the cleanup buck's pendulous sheath with a kiss of quaggy sponge. I won't say she shafted me, the cleanup buck insisted. That goat just wasn't quite bright enough to know how to do it. Instinct. For the rest of us, the cleanup buck tossed his head toward the whole of the animal kingdom and coughed and sank. But not nothing made sense to Peaches. Not fucking, not the same path to the milking parlor every day, twice a day. It all confused her. Like everything confused her. She would pure walk off. The first alfalfa cutting of the season. Not out of being uppity, but out of confusion. That there's the rub why she wouldn't have me. Confusion. He puffed out his chest as much as he could manage. Ain't no shame in it. I know she ain't thinking on me as much as I think on her. Well, mostly because Peaches never did think on nothing much at all. He could still see her as she was then, perpetually dazed, blinking into the sun, swishing her tail in perfect time through late-flowered clover and red clay. The cleanup buck was counting on making it to heaven. All I ever did was mount pussy and piss myself. Living natural can't be no sin. I ain't a player. I just crush a lot. He quarreled with no one but himself. He coughed and sank. His body moved further into abyss. He unglued his two front feet from the mud and mimed climbing a ladder to God. He hoped the saints didn't offer him virgins or anything like that. He was fuck tired and had spread more seed than he wanted, many ages before he was finally plucked out of the game. Ain't a goat on this earth fucks that hard just to earn a seat in hell. I fucked to reach a bed in heaven. Death ought to be a rest. He clacked his freed hooves together in prayer and took a moment to thank the Lord that his cock, now buried in loam, was rented out no more. He opened his old clouded eyes and offered, out of the blue, Peaches had exemplary teats. Well, not exemplary, different. That was the year I was breeding out in North Carolina. Must have knocked up 500-600 goats. That'd be damn close to 1,500 kids, just outside of Durham city limits alone. He became increasingly incoherent, and the mud sucked the cleanup buck deeper south. He let his grave absorb him slowly and naturally as he tried to sum up his casted brood of great, 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 great grandkids in the world. Thank you.
That was once again Mukethe Kawinzi. Woo! And next, just tell them.
Hi, my name's Enzo. I have a band called Heat, and
His band is Heat. I know that. I was getting to that part.
but we
Right,
have
hold on.
I do these songs sometimes. I'm just gonna set it right behind the mic.
Okay.
Give me 1 second to prepare here. All right, this next song is called Snakes. I have one more. The song's called California. Kind of wrote this in like I was fucking up and not doing good, and it's kind of I was listening to a lot of Neil Young when I wrote this. Poetry can be anything, and free Palestine.
Once again, that was Enzo, who has a band called. And in just probably about 3 minutes, we're gonna close it out and close out the evening with a David Byrd on saxophone, and I will chime in with some poems. This is a poem by Rumi. The ocean moving all night. Stay with us. Don't sink to the bottom like a fish going to sleep. Be with the ocean, moving steadily all night, not scattered like a rainstorm. The spring we're looking for is somewhere in this murkiness. See the night lights up there traveling together. The candle awake in its gold dish. Don't slide into the cracks of ground like spilled mercury. When the full moon comes out, look around.
Hey, hello for art, baby. Thank God for the artists, the poets.
I'll read that. Taken off on me.
So, I'm gonna read now a poem by Stuart Perkoff, who lived in this neighborhood. He is a poet. His sons have a band, King Perkoff, that plays at the saloon a lot. I believe he lived in LA most of the time. Anyway, he's a fabulous poet, and I'm going to read a poem of his called Byrd. An elegy for Charles Parker, musician. You just start and I'll give it. Yeah, just
Bird, baby.
Byrd, frenetic dancer, weaving in and out of the darkness between the buildings, blowing high and screaming in. His arms dripped blood, his mouth too, man, and his eyes. Singing, bird of horn and bloody arm, how many sweet lips sucked that cock and left it still frenzied and in need to blow its own self through those fingers on that metal. They relaxed him at Camarillo and let him out, but he did not cool. Leaped from the roof of his head into the streets of sound, impaled himself upon the dirty spikes of gold, screamed his screams as the people danced, died. What about the horror, man? What about that pain? What about that cat? Like all he was trying to do himself in, lushing, hyping, insane fucking, no sleep and no eat, just blow, blow, blow. Farther and farther out, tearing finger from hand, tearing eye from skull, tearing sound from throats, leaving bleeding chunks of bird caught in the teeth of many scissors. What about that? Out of his own dark skull, Byrd had to find roads, crawling on his black belly, his face ground in dirt and blood. Broken steel splinters shattering his arms and his eyes. Limp-backed and half alive with his own death. He traveled his own way. Made it. There to the sound. And flew back, blowing his crazy eyes, shifting and dazzling and laughing blood clots down his mouth, out the window and up to the moon and into the cellar and onto the bed, laughing and dancing and coughing, life and screams all the way. Like when he couldn't fly anymore, he fell down and died. But he'd never been there, man. And he blew. And he flew, man. Like high. God rest his soul. Thank you very much for coming, everyone, to the poetry reading. But this was David Byrd, my
Isn't
friend.
she wonderful? Isn't she lovely? Isn't she lovely?
Oh my God, I have to play temperate.
She's wonderful. She's Jessica. Everybody say Jessica.
Yeah, oh my God.
They love you, baby.
Hey, wonderful poets this evening. Thank everyone for reading and playing. But don't go away, stick around, because in just a few minutes, probably like 5 minutes, the genie is going to be playing his beautiful ambient guitar, and he is a whole experience.